I'm not gonna start with a song again. Who is he but don't again. I think don't start with a song again. Don't worry. It'll get old. It'll get old. Woo! Ilia Topuria, future GOAT, Sean Strickland, Brawl, Ben Askren update, and much more in this video. We got a lot to cover. Not a lot happened this week, but I got a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. I think Ilia Topuria is, I didn't make this post, but I agree, in the top 5 of all time. Ilia is, I don't know, man. Like, he has the 3 greatest back-to-back victories, I think, ever. Who else has beat 3 legends of the sport? Legends of the top 15 fighters. Volkanovski's in the GOAT conversation. Holloway's a top 15 fighter. Has many records that will maybe never be broken. Charles Oliveira, most bonuses, most finishes. I mean, 3 phenomenal back-to-back finishes from Ilia Topuria. He's sleeping our fan favorites left and right, and I'm here for it. You know, after the Max fight, I was like, I had to admit, this kid is so fucking good as a fighter. He's such a good fighter. But I didn't like him because he knocked out Max. Going into this fight, I found myself liking Ilia Topuria a lot. I wanted Charles to win. I think Charles is my 2nd or 3rd favorite fighter ever. But, dude. Then, we continue with the star power I talked about earlier. Max Holloway, in 1 year, his UFC 300 knockout over Justin Gaethje got 9 million views in 1 year. Ilia's knockout got 11 million views in 1 day. That's insane. Because this Max Holloway knockout is like on commercials and everything. It was the biggest knockout of the year for sure. And I mean, it was what the UFC was constantly using to draw people to the sport. And I mean, it's still a phenomenal knockout, and it will probably still be played because what a good knockout it was. But bro, the Charles Oliveira knockout getting 11 million, the star power behind Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It was so fun to watch that fight, man. It was fun as fuck. I can't even, like, you know, as sad as I am that Charles lost, I can't even lie. It was so fun. I found myself liking Ilia a lot more than I thought I would, you know? But I want to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Firstly, the McGregor comparisons, how can you not at this point? He has had a rise like McGregor. I think that he will be the next McGregor. He's already extremely popular, but, I mean, nobody's McGregor level. I think he might be McGregor level at one point. I always said Alex Pereira was speedrunning GOAT status, but the thing about Alex was we always knew where Alex's weakness lied. We knew that if Alex fought a wrestler, it was game over. You know, we knew that Alex was never going to be the greatest to ever do it because he wasn't rounded as a fighter. He was maybe the best striker, but with Ilia here, I don't even know if he's the best striker actively, dude. You know that? I don't even know that he's the best striker actively. I seen someone was talking about, like, Ilia's actually the best boxer. He's not the best striker. Look at the leg kicks he was using on Max Holloway. He's the best striker. He's not flashy. He's not throwing spinning shit. He is the best striker that we have in the UFC right now. I think he's better than Alex Pereira. I'll say it. I think we always knew Alex, which is why we always said Alex is speedrunning GOAT status. We never said Alex is, like, in the GOAT conversation. With Ilia, bro, not right now. I don't think he's in the GOAT. I mean, he's not taking over like a GSP or a John Jones or a DJ right now, but even DJ's like maybe falling out of the top 3 there. You know, we might have to put Volk in, might put Pantoja in. I think Pantoja's arguably better than DJ. You know, thinking about a fight between the two of them, that would be a fun fight. DJ. I think Ilia's for sure top 5 all time. Maybe like top 8 all time. So I had this photo up, the McGregor comparisons. I thought it was very cringe, especially going into the Holloway fight. I thought it was so cringe. He always says stuff McGregor says. He always, like he pretends he's McGregor. He wants to be McGregor so bad. I think it's good to compare him to McGregor. Because he's lapping McGregor. He's doing better than McGregor ever did. He's fighting better opponents, doing it better. I mean, you know, it's not a 7-second knockout, but look at that, dude. That's Conor. That's big 25 Conor McGregor. Ilia is like Conor McGregor inside the cage, but if you want me to be like Conor McGregor outside... Wait! I do not want to be like Conor McGregor outside the cage. As I was saying that, I realized it was a horrible decision. Regardless, like and subscribe. It does really support my channel. Thank you guys so much. Let's get back to the video. On November 13th, 2016, Ilia Topuria messaged Conor McGregor, "Congratulations, I'm going to be you someday." Now, that date might seem arbitrary, but it's extremely important. On November 12th, 2016, Conor McGregor became double champion. The first double champion in UFC history. He owned the featherweight belt, moved up in weight class, and took the lightweight belt from Eddie Alvarez. On November 12th, 2016, the next day, Ilia messaged him, "Congratulations, I'm going to be you someday." 9 years later, he has done the same thing. He captured flyweight gold. Now, he relinquished after one defense. Conor McGregor didn't have to relinquish and also didn't defend, which I think adds more star power to Ilia. He did better than Conor. He did what Conor did, and he did it better. 9 years later, he did what Conor did, and he did it better. That is insane. This kid is so confident. We are living through another McGregor era. And I pray that he skyrockets the fame of the sport and everything. I want this sport to be global like hockey and football. I just sense a surgence in the sport, not a resurgence, a surgence in the sport through the means of Ilia Topuria. I'm so happy that this is happening. But if you recall, and I'll touch on it briefly, Joe Rogan is probably getting reprimanded. What a fuck up he made. After the Ilia Topuria knockout, they're talking to him, and Topuria says something about, like, "I want to fight the guy who had back problems." Clearly meaning Arman Tsarukyan, #1 contender in the world, who pulled out of his fight against Islam Makhachev due to back problems. We learned later it was a weight miss, but at the time we all thought it was back problems. And Joe Rogan hears him go, "Oh, the back problem guy? You're talking about Paddy Pimblett." So, Joe Rogan, what a historic fuck up. Paddy is taking this. He was gifted a title shot by Joe Rogan. He knew that he did not deserve a title shot. He had said himself he needs one more fight until a title shot. So, Paddy is kind of taking this championship gift from Joe Rogan. I think he's just working his ass off, trying to get as many interviews as possible, trying to get his name out there as much as possible so that people start thinking we want this fight. I think Paddy gets slept bad by Ilia, but it's big money for him. If he wants to go down this road, I think sure. And I think it's very smart of him. But he has said a lot of words since that, because I think he's on his, his promo grind set right now, trying to get this next championship fight. So, he said on the Eric Nixick podcast, "I really love Charles, but what the fuck was that game plan? Stand in front of him and get hit? He needed to kick more. He threw one teep." And then he goes on to say, "I fucking hate Ilia. Absolutely hate him. I want to hurt him. I want him beat him up for 4 rounds, 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Land 100 elbows." Anyways, everyone was kind of upset with the whole Paddy being in. Even Dana White was upset with Paddy being in the octagon. I don't think that was the fight that they wanted to make. Joe Rogan gifted him a title shot in that moment. We'll see if it even gets made. It probably won't, but we'll see. News came out on Monday from Dricus du Plessis. He was in some YouTube video. I don't even know what.
Big card. The co-main event is Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. That's an awesome fight.
He said the co-main event to his fight is Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Now, Paddy looked pretty big at UFC 370. I don't know how much he cuts and how fast. I mean, he cuts a lot, but I don't know how fast he cuts it. He looked pretty big at UFC 317. So, I don't know. He could have made weight for that. Levy MMA says, "I think so." I like that fight. It's a good fight. If they were to make that fight, I wouldn't complain. But Paddy tweeted later, "You's mad if you think I'm fighting in August?" And that's about it. That's all I have for the Paddy Ilia situation. I want to see Ilia fight Paddy. I want to see Ilia fight anybody at this point, honestly. Get this kid in the GOAT room. Get this kid in the Hall of Fame, really. 17-0. His 15th professional fight was against Alexander Volkanovski, and he slept him in round 1. Khabib's 15th professional fight was against a guy who had never fought before. Anyways, we continue to some more news off the Paddy situation. UFC 318, the main card has been revealed. Now, I will say the main card for 317 changed a lot since they revealed it at 316. So, this is like, I guess it might change. I hope it will change because this is fucking dog shit. This is actually a horrible card. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Daniel Zellhuber is going to fucking destroy Michael Johnson. Like, bro, my issue with this card, right? I'm not going to actually break down any of the fights. My issue with this card is that this is a pay-per-view. You have to pay for the feature fight to be Atiba Gauthier versus Robert Valentin. Robert Valentin is a Torres Finney victim. 13 and a half minutes of control time. 13 minutes, 15 seconds, I believe, of control time, and not one takedown landed. He's a victim of ball sniffing from Torres Finney. Fighting Atiba Gauthier, who just coming off of his debut. That is the feature fight of a pay-per-view. Somebody coming off of their debut is the feature fight. The co-main event, Dan Ige versus unranked Patricio Pitbull. Co-main event of a pay-per-view with a bullshit title. Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull, who's coming off of a loss in his debut. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm gonna get hot, bro. Like, the main card opener, 2 unranked fighters in the lightweight division. 2 unranked fighters are opening the main card of a pay-per-view. It's beyond me. It's beyond me. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kovalev, good-ass fight. I'm not going to lie. That deserves pay-per-view slot. Not even. I don't know. That could be on the prelims, I think. But for a dog shit card like this, fine, put it on the pay-per-view. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen is a good-as-fuck fight. Brendan Allen is from Louisiana, where the fight is taking place. Why is he on the prelims? Why is Atiba Gauthier versus Robert Valentin the feature fight, bro? What are they doing? What are they cooking in the UFC? Atiba Gauthier, who knocked out skinny fat guy, I don't even know his name, with a mullet. A skinny fat guy with a mullet who was wearing green shorts, who was taunting Atiba Gauthier, and then 10 seconds later, not even, was knocked out cold. Atiba Gauthier, coming off a knockout win, is fighting a Torres Finney victim on the feature fight of Dustin Poirier's retirement card. It's not even just like a random 312 pay-per-view. 312 was dog shit. And 318 is worse. 318 is horrible. At least 312 had a real title on it. It had 2. 318 has the BMF title, which, don't even get me started on it. It's fucking so dumb. If there was no title involved, this was just a 5-round main event, it would still sell. The title is not the draw here. Like, I don't understand why they have... It's whatever. Actually, if you think about it, it's extremely good because we're witnessing upcoming talent. Blow my head off with this shit. We continue. Ben Askren still in hospital. He was denied the claim to his insurance for a double lung transplant when he was unconscious half the day on his deathbed, really, if you think about it, waiting to die or have a double lung transplant. And they said, nah, fuck you. Ben Askren, fuck you. You pay us, but you pay us a lot of money, I'm sure. I'm sure he has amazing health care. He's, pretty wealthy. Fuck you. You don't get covered for double lung transplant. Absolutely dog shit company. Insurance is so... we don't have to talk about that. I'm just here to break the news that Ben Askren has received the double lung transplant, so he's getting healthy. He's coming back. Thank God. Prayers up. Glad that he was able to pull through. Happy for him and the family. Ben Askren, let me on the podcast sometime, now that you're healthy again. Thank you. I know you're watching this. Sean Strickland got in a brawl at Tough Enough 145. Tough Enough, a regional MMA scene. I've skipped 15 seconds in the video. The guy in the gray shorts or the tan shorts wins by guillotine against the guy in the blue shorts, and he does this to the Sean Strickland Chris Curtis corner.
Hernandez gets it done.
He's talking to Chris Curtis and Sean.
He does that symbol, and they rush into the octagon. Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis. Sean Strickland throws more right hands here than he did in the entire Paulo Costa fight. He throws 2 right hands. I'm surprised he didn't teep kick the fucking guy, for Christ's sake. Then Chris Curtis holds him by the back of his head in a Muay Thai clinch, but then points at his face and doesn't, like, do anything to him. And then this guy ends up calling him a pussy or something. It was a brawl. I'm surprised Sean Strickland isn't in more shit from this, but, I mean, it's Sean Strickland. At the end of the day, his PR is not good. Does Sean go to jail after his UFC career is the top comment. It's a poll. Yes, but quicker won by 56%. I mean, that's insane to me that he actually threw punches at this guy because he... Bro. Grow up, Sean. We continue. Joel Alvarez. He has officially... Well, Ali Abdelaziz has officially announced Joel Alvarez moved to 170 pounds. Formerly fought at 155. Was supposed to fight Benoit Saint-Denis in Montreal. However, he pulled out due to a leg injury or a foot injury or something. I think he like broke his foot or his leg or something. That was going to be a great fight. Joel Alvarez has finished every single one of his 22 victories. This kid's insane. He's got a lot of power. Bringing it to 170. 170 is a tough division, man. Especially right now. There's so many contenders. I don't know if this is the right move for him, but they said he weighs almost 200 pounds. It's a hard time making weight. He has to go up to welterweight. I understand. You know, I wish I think he just got ranked as well at 155, so kind of sucks, but I think he'll do well at 170 until he gets to the top, like, 8, maybe. Then he'll have some difficulty. I think the top 8 are very good, all of them, except for Colby Covington. I don't know if he's still even in there. But that's all Joel Alvarez. Now we're going to get to some fights. First, this is a good fight. Aljo is fun to watch. I hate people that, like, complain about any wrestling. They complain about the Movsar Evlov, and I'll always bring this up. I think it was Aljo's last fight. Movsar Evlov versus Aljamain Sterling. That was a good-as-fuck fight. That was fun. It was heavy grappling, but it was fun to watch. They were both on top of their game, doing what they do best, both of them. It was a really fun fight. Good grappling match between the two of them. Brian Ortega, masterful in jiu-jitsu. I don't know if he's a black belt, but he's very good. Aljamain Sterling, good in wrestling, so it'll be fun to watch. I'm going to go with Aljamain Sterling to win this fight. I think Ortega just doesn't have the drive right now, and I think Aljo does. I think I got Sterling to win this fight, though, by decision. We continue. Rob Font is taking on Raul Rosas Jr. Can I be honest? Horrible matchup. Horrible matchup. Font is going to take bro to school. Low-key, I feel like he's kind of old. He might get knocked out. I don't know, man. Raul is my age, and he has knockout power. I mean, he slept someone. He slept a can. Maybe Rob Font doesn't get slept by him. I've just looked at Rob Font's record. He's beating some up-and-comer guys. Beat Kyler Phillips, beat undefeated John Matsumoto. He lost to, like, Corey Sandhagen, Figgy. Elites. Elite competition he's losing to, but he's beating all the prospects. So he's pretty decent, man. He's pretty good, I would say. He is 38, though. This is in September. I don't know, man. Low-key, I feel like Raul is gonna take this fight purely based on... I mean, I'm not a huge believer in, like, the whole, age advantage always wins. Because the guys with more experience who are older, they know how to fight better, naturally. Look at Jack Hermanson and Joe Pyfer. Don't look at Jack Hermanson now. All right? He got slept really, really... By the way, they just sent him home. I was laughing at these updates because it was like, they would say, we have an update on Jack Hermanson. We have a health update on Jack Hermanson after he was slept out cold unconscious for 5 straight minutes. Didn't move off of his back even for 5 straight minutes. No one even attempted to try and wake him up by, like, lifting his legs or anything. They just let him lie there unconscious. And a nasty follow-up shot directly to the jaw that was slack because he was unconscious already. He was slept bad. And Herb Dean didn't step in. And then throughout the card, they're going, we have a health update for Jack Hermanson. And the first one was like, he's in the back right now and he's awake and he's fine. It's like, he's fine? That guy is... That guy who just got slept so hard, by the way, and I kept laughing at this as they showed the replay, slept so hard that he falls straight backwards right onto the back of his head, so hard that he lifts up and smacks on the back of his head again. He double back of the head smacked. He double back of the head smacked. And then they're just like, yeah, he's in the back room. He's fine. And then a few hours later, like, yeah, we sent him home. He's all right. You sent him home? This dude has brain bleeding, I bet. You just sent him home? You didn't even send him to the hospital? It was insane. I don't know why I talked about this. I got so off track there. I'm sorry. That was crazy. That was insane. Why did they send him home? I was laughing so hard at that. Why would you send that guy home? You know? Make sure that he's medically okay. Don't do it in the backstage of a fucking arena, of the T-Mobile Arena. Do it at the hospital. Are you kidding me? His head smacked off the canvas once. He lifted up from the force that he smacked off the canvas, and it smacked off the canvas again. That's how unconscious he was. And then a follow-up shot right on the chin. He's all right. We sent him home. Raul Rosas Jr. is going to take this fight, probably by decision. He's not that good. I know he was like their hype kid, but I don't think he's that good in general. Next fight. Jeff Neal is taking on Carlos Prates. I hate this fight for one reason. Why the fuck does Jeff Neal and Neil Magny always fight the same people? I always mix them up because they have the same fucking record, man. Maybe one of them wins against the guy and the other guy loses, but they all... Prates fought Neil Magny, then fought Ian Gary, lost that fight, now he's fighting Jeff Neal. Why do they fight the same guys over and over, every single time? Neil Magny fights somebody, Jeff Neal's fighting him in the future, I promise. Or vice versa. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Neil Magny is the gatekeeper for Jeff Neal, I think. And then Jeff Neal's like the gatekeeper for the higher level in the division. But I have Carlos Prates taking this fight. He was very lethargic and slow getting started in the Ian Gary fight. But Ian Gary's game plan was perfect. The high kick to keep that left hand occupied was so smart. I mean, I think Ian Gary has very high IQ. I don't love the guy. Don't love to watch him fight, but he has very high IQ and he's very smart in the octagon. You know, he has a very good game plan going into it. I don't think Jeff Neal's all that. I think he's going to get slept by Carlos Prates. This one isn't on any of the Instagram pages, but I know for a fact that it's official. Esteban, it says Esteban here, not his name. It's Esteban Ribovics. Will be taking on Elves Brenner on August 2nd. Elves Brenner, I know the name. I can't, think of any... he's decent. He's decent. I can't think of any, insane performances that he's had. I can't name you even one of his opponents. Esteban Ribovics, on the other hand, former Fight of the Year guy. He just had the Fight of the Year last year. He is currently the holder of the Fight of the Year. Esteban Ribovics is so much fun to watch. I love this fight. I know Elves Brenner is, decent, and he's not a can that's just going to get slept immediately, so this should be a fun as fuck fight. I don't know what the rankings are. I'm going to go with Esteban Ribovics to win this fight by finish. By finish, let's say. I just think he's got such a fun style to watch, and he puts on bangers pretty consistently, so this is a good fight. That's it. Alexander Romanov, who, by the way, I only brought this up for one reason. I don't care that the fight was waved off to Lobo. He got stretchered out. How did they carry the stretcher? They needed 8 guys to carry this fucking stretcher. Alexander Romanov, bro. Look at how many people are having to hold this stretcher up. It's chaos. Why is he holding that guy? He had to get stretchered off because of a low blow, Alexander Romanov. There's 7.5 people stretchering this man out of the fucking cage. And they put him on a gurney. I brought this up for one reason. I did not know that Alexander Romanov was not in the UFC anymore. This took place at the PFL World Tournament. I thought he was still in the UFC and he just hadn't fought in a while. When did he get cut? And why is he in the UFC video game? He's horrible. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe button, as it does really support my channel. This video was pretty good, I think. I like this video a lot. I'm also, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes peeled. Saturday. Friday. No, I usually do a Friday video. No video on Friday because I have work and I'm really busy. I usually work on Fridays, but I still record the video. But there's no fights on Saturday. So on Saturday, I'm going to be doing the lightweight rankings based on how well that I think that they would do against Ilia Topuria. Keep your eyes out for that video. Should be a good one. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!